Hi, how you guys doing? This is Jonathan. In today's video, we're going to feature this from Kemper. This is the Kemper Profiler Stage. So on first glance, I noticed there are 5 bottom switch for your so-called rig setup, where it's like a preset, like you can go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 presets. This is one more than the Helix floorboard that I use, so I think that is really, really good for live performance. Hence, it's called Kemper Stage. You have the tap tempo on extreme right, and right above this is where you can actually toggle around through your rigs, whatever sort of a patch, or patch, the different patches, and these are your presets, right? And then here you have 4 individual switch for you to toggle around your so-called effects or your pedals. So if I were to assign a pedal, all I need to do is to hold on to whichever one I want, and then I go up here and I can actually suggest and select what sort of effects I want. Like for example, now I just want to have a compressor. So here I can micro select where it goes back to the other, the other selector switch where you can actually select the sort of compressors you want. This is kind of macro where you can toggle between the various effects. And if you're going to choose compressor, this is your micro switch or micro knob where you can actually select what sort of effects you want. Now I could go for hard, right? So all I need to do is press it and I can have all the parameters here. And you can kind of like toggle through the various parameters of that compressor. Now if I want to kind of like have this initiated by this foot switch, all I need to do is to hold on to this and press onto this, and there you go. So this is in control of that compressor. Like for example, if now I'm going for another one, all I need to do is to select another one. So I'm going to go for distortion, and this is a micro knob. Okay, I'm going for a crunch. Press it, adjust whatever I want. So the crunch is in red, right? So all I need to do is just hold it, just press this at the same time, and there you go. So this is controlling the crunch. It's relatively simple, right? And then you have like the amplifier where you can actually kind of like select where you want to get amplifiers from. So I haven't gone deeply into it. So far I've taken amplifiers from the current preset, and of course you have the cabinet where you can actually decide what cabinets you want, and you can also kind of like what should you say? There you go. You can select from which rig you want to import from. Now in this case, I'm not going to import anything, so I'm going to exit here. From here, you can actually select like your sort of EQ and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. There are a couple of selections that you can make. Right. So now I'm at my distortion patch, where this is basically a what you call that is it's basically a JCM 800, a Marshall JCM 800 simulation, and you can actually basically just do what you normally do on an amp, right? And it's called Mars CM 800, right? Real subtle like. So that's about it, and I haven't gone through the looper yet. There's a whole lot of things I haven't gone through. I just wanted to have a first look and a first test on how it sounds like. Apart from the foot switches, I think I covered all. The tuner is pretty interesting because it's always on all the time. When you're plugging in a guitar, it's always on. So you can actually tune while you're playing, right? You can actually tune while you're playing. And if you have a foot switch connected, you can actually bring down your volume and just start tuning away. Of course, if you press this, there comes a graphic sort of a display for your tuning, which I think doesn't really do anything. I'd rather have this light here. It's more useful because it's easy to see especially on stage, in dark stage. And here you have your system where you can actually put in your time, a date, your pedals where you can actually decide what sort of pedals you want to be hooked up to this unit. Then you have your rig setting, and these are basically like your universal setting for your unit. I haven't gone through all this because there's a whole lot of stuff going, like transpose and volume pedal settings and stuff like that. So it's kind of like interesting. There's so many things you can do with this unit. I guess if I were to spend a lot of time on it, I probably will get a hang of it. On the left hand side, you have the browser and the profiler where you actually select what sort of preset you're on. All right. And then you have the perform mode, which I haven't gone into because I guess these are like the snapshot of the Helix, where within a song you can actually switch, like, you know, for the chorus to the verse, intro, and stuff. Like you can have different sounds, you know, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. Of course, the power button is here, and the good part is that you have to hold and depress it for this thing to come on. And if you change your mind, you can just lift up your finger or your thumb, and the unit is back on. And I guess you have a lock here. I don't know what this lock is for. Okay, I guess if I press this, everything will be locked, so that say for example you're playing on stage and your break time is up, and then you just want to get a drink and you don't want any customers or anyone to screw around with your settings. All you need to do is to lock it instead of powering down the unit. All right. Now the saving process is pretty interesting. You can have store here, and it will ask you what to store, the cab module or the entire rig. In this case, I'm going to select the entire rig. All right, and store a new rig. Right, so there you can actually change your name, rename it, or whatever you want to do. And if you're good to go, just press store again, and it will just replace that preset that you just had edited, and that's about it. Yep. The looper is where you can actually I don't know what is this for. It's either for a looper, where you can actually do looping here, because I can see here, like, you know, play and stop, and I guess 3 times is delete. You know, you can, I don't know, there's a whole lot of stuff here that you can do. Halftime, these 5 foot switches at the back, you know, at the bottom will control the looper. So I guess if you have the looper on, you would have that. Interesting, because when I turn it on, you know, all the lights will come on. So this is in looper mode. And I guess that's about it. You have the master volume and the gain, where you can actually, like any amp, you can actually bring out the gain, and then this is the master volume of the whole unit. So if you're going to like use different presets or rigs, then you have to kind of balance your overall level out. And I guess this has to have a sort of a volume pedal or expression pedal, you know, to make it work on stage. Yeah, pretty nice. So for the back unit, you have here from the left the input, and then you have the send and return. So you have actually 2 sets of stereo returns, right? You have your XLR left and right out, and you have 1/4 inch left and right out. 2 sets actually for left and right for monitoring, and I guess one is for headphones if you want to. Headphones jack is here, right? And the headphone jack is here. You have SPDIF out and in, and this is where you hook up your pedals. So you can actually hook up to a maximum of 4 pedals, right? In, out, MIDI, and you have 2 slots of USB. One is for you to connect, say, to a computer, so that you can actually use the editor, which I think is really useful. And then you have one for your USB stick in case you want to make a backup of this whole unit. Then you have finally the power supply. So what do you get when you buy the unit? What is in the box? You have a manual, which looks really daunting at first sight because it's actually in various languages. That's why it's so thick. The actual English portion of it is just about here, I guess. That's about it. This is as thick as you can get, so don't get mistaken. And then you have a power supply, which I'm pretty impressed because this power supply is the wire is pretty long, so that's good, especially in a live situation where you need a longer power cable in case you do not have a sort of power strip near you. want to thank David's Guitar, especially Janet, for sending me this unit for review. And I'm so stoked to be playing around this toy. This is like an interesting unit. Of course, this is a profiler just like the Helix and the Factual and the rest of the available amp simulation or multi-effects board that you have in the market. I just want to try this because it looks really interesting. There's a whole lot of things around that you can actually adjust and play around to suit your performance on stage. There is Kemper Profilers where you can actually have it. They call it a toast box, where you basically have it lying around in the studio where you can actually have a good amp simulation, amp speaker simulation, and those are great because I've heard some of them and they really sound good. So they have created a sort of a unit for that for stage use, and I find it really interesting. What are my impressions? I didn't want to go too in depth because it would probably take me a month to actually go through everything right inside this unit, and I probably have to get like expression pedals and all sorts of pedals to kind of play around with this, not to mention a case. There are a whole lot of videos out there on YouTube that explains a whole lot of the workings of the Kemper Profiler Stage, and I would suggest if you are interested in this unit to take a look at them. My impression is that the amp simulation are really top-notch. They're in no way better than the Helix because I'm still a Helix, a Line 6 fanboy, to the core. It's there, in certain amps, I dare say that it's better than some of the amp simulation in Helix. I particularly like the Deluxe. The Fender Deluxe amp and the JCM 800 because it comes really close to the main thing, and the fact is because I play on the main thing for these two amps, and I can't know and remember how it sounds like. So I was really impressed with the Fender Deluxe, especially because of the little nuances, and how responsive the unit is, like an amp, and the tone, especially the tone. In terms of the editing and the workings, it can get a little bit mind-boggling, but then again, it was mind-boggling for me when I first started out with the Helix. I guess in time, it would you get more fluent as you play around with the parameters. You'll get faster, and I think the fact that they actually include a free editor for your PC or Mac, that is a lifesaver because you can actually do all your editing on the editor itself instead of doing it here. But I did it all here because I didn't want to try the editor, because I want to see how is it like if I were to buy this unit and I'm on stage and I need to do some fast editing, how fast can it go, and how useful the whole, or rather how smooth this whole operation is. And I can tell you that you can get by, and after a while you'll be fluent and which knob does what, and you get it going in no time. The inclusion of the effects, the various effects, like from compressors to noise gates to distortion, to boosters, the time-based unit, they are all good. They are all great effects, and they have a lot in there for you to play around with. So you're gonna have a field day playing around with the effects, and the effects are really top quality. So yeah. And I particularly like the tuner mode because it's always on all the time, as I mentioned in the demo. So that's about it. So I like this unit. If I were not using a Helix, and if I'm not in the so-called Line 6 infrastructure, then I will probably get this unit. Really seriously. Well, I can hope, because getting this unit will incur a whole lot of other costs for me. I need to buy the case, I need to buy expression pedals, and there'll be a lot of time-consuming things to do, like learning the inner workings of this unit. So tell me, what do you think about this Kemper Profiler Stage? Do you like it? Do you have one of these? Let us know your experience and put a comment in the comment section down below. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. I spent a couple hours doing this, playing around with this, and I'm really happy to be like a boy in a toy shop, playing with a new toy. And I'm kind of sad to see it go, but it is what it is. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and join this channel. shout out to all the patrons that supported this channel. Thank you guys for being a part of it. And I'll see you again real soon. You guys take care. Stay safe. Ciao.